Hey folks, Kevin and Thea here.
Hi you guys, good to see you. We got a project going together.
What is our project, hon?
Our project is covering up the figs that are planted outside for the winter so that they live and are happy, and we'll make more figs next year.
It sounds exciting, hon. Okay, so the project started yesterday. A couple of days ago. First I came through and I pruned off the top of the fig trees. And we've had a couple of heavy frosts, we've had snow, and we have had a bunch of light frosts as well. So the conduit that you see here, the hoops, are 10-foot lengths of electrical conduit. This is half-inch electrical conduit. And about 6 years ago I made a video on how I make these and using a jig to make these. Pretty easy to make, and we sink the base of them in the ground, probably, depending on how hard the ground is, about 6 to 8 to 12 inches deep. And so they're spaced throughout here, and then in some places we have them crisscrossed. This offers lateral stability. Like right here, I use some cable ties to secure them together. Then we use the paracord, which is anchored at both ends via a T-post, a 6-foot T-post. So the paracord is tied at the base of this, just underneath here, goes up, goes to the first cross member, then it just loops around. It's just a friction form of attachment all the way down, and so that's the structure of the apparatus that's going to house the fig trees. Now we don't take those down during the summertime. The fig trees grow up well beyond this. I just prune them back to this point, to that level. And yesterday we got a load of leaves from a local cemetery, and I used Mini-Me, which is a Kubota B2601 small compact tractor with a Land Pride grapple on the front, and I took a scoop out of the leaf pile, and there should be a video already posted just prior to this showing this, and I dumped the leaves on the top of it. Then today, and I smoothed them out some. Then this morning I came through and I saw some had settled down, so I went and got a couple more scoops and put them on top. Then I went on both sides and scooped up leaves that had gone out of the hoop itself. So in between each one of these leaves is a small air space, and that will create the insulation that will take care of these fig trees. Even though they're Chicago hardy and brown turkey fig trees, they can't tolerate, once we get down 10-15 degrees below zero, or even 15 degrees. The other day it was 20 degrees, and the hardwood's still good on this. But what we do with our potted ones, we bring them into the coop area over there during the winter months, and that way it doesn't freeze. That's an insulated building, non-heated insulated building. So now what we've got, we just rolled out a 100-foot length of 6 mil white poly plastic, and that's 12 foot wide. So what we will do, and these hoops are 10 foot, but they're sunk in the ground a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll unfold it and try and secure it. Thea's putting boards on this side, and we'll use some weight bags as well. She's a strong woman. Look at her. Oh my God. So, and I went out and got some of our stone bags. So we have these bags that have stone. They're meant for sand. I do have some with sand in them as well. And those I'll be putting on the other side as well. So I may end up actually taking some wood chips and putting on top of this as well. The boards are old boards from construction projects in the past. Everything from forms for concrete and that sort of thing. So it's 6 mil white plastic. It's important not to use black. Black will absorb the heat. And during the winter months, we don't want to trigger these fig trees to come out of dormancy. We want them to be dormant throughout the whole winter, and the white will help to reflect the sun so that it doesn't absorb heat. And again, it's really well insulated in here. and the plastic will help to keep the leaves relatively dry and protect it. The big issue that we might have is the winds here. The winds come out of the northwest over there, and so we're going to secure that end first, make sure that's the most secure. And we did have to shorten the pile, the structure just by a little bit. So we'll show some time lapse of the process and then do a review at the end to see how things are. Here we go. Well, we got this pretty much secured just as the breeze was picking up the winds, so not too bad. So we've got lots of these what are these? These are some sort of polyethylene or polypropylene bags that are made for sand, and then we have cable ties on them. So we have sand and stone, lots of wood on here, and you can see there's lots of stone bags. I may come back and put a little bit of wood chips just on top of this as well. That'll help to hold some of the water in there and keep from any air gaps getting up underneath there. But I think this time we're in pretty good shape. We did have one of our cable ties up here that looked like it was going to poke through eventually. I did have one of the shoots from the fig trees poke through, so I had to reprune that area. But this worked out okay. And on this side, Thea put all the boards on this side that were still viable. We got some cement blocks and some more bags on here, and some galvanized pipe to help hold this side down. So it's pretty snug. I think we're in good shape this year, but our wind storms are really something. Now if we get a good snow load on top of this and then we get the snowstorms, it won't be a big deal. You just really need that, and last year we didn't get as much. So this worked out pretty well. Hopefully the time lapse, sorry, I'm a little dehydrated right now. The time lapse will show what we did do as well. So that's it for today's video. I hope it was somewhat informative. This is a way that we overwinter our fig trees here in a cold temperate climate, zone 5A, Oswego, New York, in a high wind zone. It'd be much easier in places where there isn't a high wind zone. If you got some other things to protect you, you don't have a big drop off in the winds coming out of that area. The galvanized hoops, we use those every year for different projects around the property, really work well. And I think the fig trees, many people compliment us on the living fence look of it. But again, there's a couple of different layers, and the comfrey really does help as a ground cover on the other side that we're not able to mow or do anything like that with. So that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. And by all means, folks, stay safe and take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye now.